Today we're talking to experienced worldschooling families. They've been there, figured out what works and what doesn't, and in this video they're going to give you their best advice. Watch this to find out more. Hey everyone, I'm Karen King, creator of Worldschooling Central, where we teach mums and dads just like you all about worldschooling and help you live every day to the fullest. Today I'm excited to share with you a compilation of advice from experienced worldschooling families. I asked them what advice they'd want to share with someone new to worldschooling. If you're ready to be inspired and you're ready to make changes in your life, this is one interview you don't want to miss. Be sure to subscribe to our channel, hit the bell icon and download our free Worldschooling guide using the link in the description. Now let's hear from our Worldschooling families and hear what advice they want to share with you.
I would say if you can do it, do it. Life is so short.
If you have an opportunity to do something like this, you can do it and you should do it.
Being able to travel and integrate into countries and kind of go places where people don't usually go, it's like a very special experience.
I would say you're not alone, and every single person, I imagine, who is doing this now has been exactly where you were at, asking themselves that same question. Can I do this? Is it possible?
I would say that if you're thinking about it, you're already doing it. Or at least that's how when me and my husband start talking about something like, oh, that could be interesting, it's gonna happen. It's always been like that. And I think that if you put your head in it, it means a part of you is already there.
Give it a try. It's so worth it. And you can always change your mind if you don't like it.
I am a normal person. I went to university and I dropped out because I didn't like it. Ella was born when I was 23. I've been with Matt since I was 18. Matt's a builder. He's as Kiwi as you get. He likes barbecues and beers. We're just normal people. Like, we're young. I'm 28, Matt's 29. Like, we don't have tons of money behind us. We don't, we're literally just a couple who wanted this. And so we've figured out how we can make it work.
If you're sitting in your neighborhood and you're realizing, God, this just sucks, this is not what I pictured, you can try something new and you can get out there and just do something different.
If you're watching and your children are still young, then just go for it, because when they're older, they won't want to bother with the stuff you may want them to do with you. Whereas if you start early, they may already have created this special bond with you to look forward to everything to be done together, to experience everything together, to focus on you more than other things. And that's just such a great feeling that I hope you can go on and on and on until they become adults.
When I had Madeline a couple of weeks after she was born, I had some complications from the delivery and I almost passed away. And you live only once, you can go so quickly. And I've always been a very healthy person, but it happened so quickly.
Kids are getting older, they grow so fast. You'll never think that when they're toddlers, it's like forever when they're toddlers, but they all of a sudden just sprout and grow so quickly.
This is truly a unique learning experience for our kids, and we're so lucky to be able to do it with them.
Do it, just do it. And however long that takes you, with whatever parameters you set for yourself, because there are none. If you want to go traveling, you will go traveling. And whatever form that is, just do it.
If you love to travel and you're considering world schooling, I highly recommend it.
If someone is thinking of doing it, if they have that idea in their head, you can make it work. I'm sure about that.
I would say don't worry so much. You're giving them such a gift in showing them the world and giving them the world.
Just believe that the world is a safe place and just enjoy it and savor it and just enjoy every place you're in for what it has to offer.
Don't overthink it, like give it a go. The longer that you do it for, the less you'll probably feel like you have to plan, and you'll realize that there's not so much to worry about as what you think there is.
So just go for it. Every day feels really long, but when you look back, the years are really short. Up to present, I still wished and hoped that I had actually taken the leap earlier.
My own personal experience was one that I, don't regret, that I couldn't recommend more and plan to keep doing. So I would just encourage them to pursue it. Absolutely, yeah.
if you put them in school, and from school they go to their soccer, and then they have homework, and you only sit down a couple of times a week having dinner with them, life is short, and these kids grow so fast.
If your kids see you following your passions, then they're going to learn that they can follow their passions too.
It's going to impact them in so many different amazing ways, some challenging ways, but it's going to make them, grow into someone that's so much more sure of themselves and confident in who they are and curious about the world and, always wanting to learn more.
There's been no greater education. There's been no greater method for personal growth than getting out there and experiencing the variety in the world and then experiencing it with your kids.
The rewards, what you get out of it is priceless, and it will change these kids forever, right? Like they will. It will make a difference in their lives.
The kids will leave home quicker than you could believe. I always thought when they were tiny, they would never leave home. I know now that it's going way too fast.
It is something that you can do together, and it helps build a strong bond, not only between you and your partner, other half, but also with your family on the whole. It makes it so much more complete.
It sure instills in them a sense of trust and honesty in themselves that they can go off and do the things that they've always wanted to do without being afraid.
Don't worry about how they're going to achieve certain things or what's going to happen, because everything honestly works out.
Things don't change at home. You get back, a few months or even a few years later, and things really haven't changed.
Just do what you can and do baby steps, and you never know what the universe is going to provide for you when you put that out there.
You don't need to be rich to do this. You definitely don't. So it is so much cheaper than people think. You go to a grocery store and we have food for a week and we pay $50, so it's much cheaper than people think.
You just have to make some plans. You have to first decide, yes, I'm going to do it. We're going to do it. And then 2, make some logistical plans on how you're going to get it done. And then just go for it. But if you're motivated, you can do this. You absolutely can do this. Once you're on that plane or boat or train, it's going to feel exhilarating.
Allow that time, a little bit of buffer time for breathing for the kids, especially if they're coming out of school. Let them discover what they're really passionate about.
Getting involved with communities makes a big difference in everything, and that's the Worldschooling community, the events that happen, the local communities, and really getting out there and listening to what they need, and that's going to make all the difference, and then it won't be that hard.
Joining some of these Facebook groups that are about world schooling and traveling with the kids, because it helps.
Maybe start out small, do a staycation, see what you think, then go maybe do a road trip or just go.
You'll hit a point where eventually you'll want it enough that you will do it. And if you're still letting things stop you, or you're letting those blocks and you're not working through them, then maybe you're just not ready yet. Maybe it's not time for you. And you just need to wait a little bit longer, learn a bit more, do little small world schooling things, go on a trip for a month and see if you like it.
It's really about creating that plan to get yourself to where you want to be. And so asking the right questions, strategizing, and just moving in that direction.
Do your research and get the confidence to just go.
Do your, research and see what's best, I think, for your family. Having a more formal curriculum might be best for your family, or completely deschooling or unschooling might be completely right for your family.
As hard as it was to get rid of all our possessions, I didn't miss a thing. We didn't miss anything. Our kids were playing with straws and boxes. They didn't care that they didn't have their whole selection of toys. So it's all good. It's all good. It's a great learning experience. And the world has so much to teach us. It has so much to teach us, so many values, that I feel like, how can one not do this if they can find a place in their life to just pull it off?
Join world schooling groups on social media. That's certainly how I did the most learning and the most connecting, and asked a lot of questions and got a lot of very helpful answers.
Don't get locked into the idea that it has to be full-time, or that you have to be doing it constantly, or big this amazing grand scheme of travel. I mean, even if you're going somewhere once or twice a year and doing whatever your family can, heck, just travel your country. I mean, so many of us don't even leave our little town. Just travel your country. I mean, as I can only speak for the United States, but it's huge and it's amazing. And there are people from all over the world right here. So don't feel like you have to be this extravagant traveler to consider world schooling.
Save, plan, talk to people. Get in the Facebook groups and things along those lines.
And reaching out to other people as well that have maybe done this before and lived it can also, I think, provide a lot of very fruitful information. So
there's so many different ways of traveling that you don't need to have millions to travel the world, and you don't need to travel the world. You can just travel your country.
Really listening to what they get excited about,
Yes.
you know, and being involved, getting yourself involved in that as a partner,
Yes.
you know, like
Yeah.
as a family.
And when you do empower them and really absolutely really listen to what's going on, and you have free thinking stakeholders in the process, they're going to tell you what they need, and you can be there for that.
Just be open to opportunities. Check out things like couchsurfing.com, trustedhousesitters.com. There's an amazing trade community on Facebook too, where you do house swaps. So that's another opportunity. All of these things are ways for you to save money traveling. Look into hostelworld.com. And there's a ton of resources out there to make it budget friendly. Start talking to your family. Where do they want to go? Where do they want to explore? And to see if you can't make it happen, and go for it.
Figure out what's best for your family. One child may really love the formal school setting, and one child absolutely does not. So kind of see what might work and fit for your family.
You won't regret it. It's amazing, and your family will love it, and it's worth the investment.
You'll never regret doing it. You'll regret not taking the opportunity sooner. And there's, we can always say, oh, put it off for tomorrow, or put it off for next year when the kids are older, when we've got more money, when there's always let's just wait until the kids have left home is another one I often hear. Don't wait. Just literally grasp it. Even if it's a bit uncomfortable, do it.
Just enjoy it. Enjoy the time you have with them.
These beautiful memories are the only things that you can take away with you when the time comes. So I urge you to do it when you still can.
I just say go for it. Yeah, it's not as hard as you think.
Whoever's watching this, if you're on the fence and you have fears and you're not sure what to do, just know that if you took the chance and did something different, your old life will be waiting for you. So if you find it's not for you, you don't like it, you hate it, hey, your old life is still there. So
But you got to try something new to find out.
But you got to try something new, yeah. And you might love it.
It's not impossible. And we thought it was, when we start talking about it, we're like, this is crazy. I mean, how do you do it? But then you just go and do it.
Go ahead and you'll do fine.
The world is amazing, and spending so much time with my kids and my husband, I mean, I would say just do it.
I guarantee you it doesn't matter. You'll have a good time. Just do it.
Treasure your time together. Make good use of it. Traveling is the most it's the most precious thing you can give to your child, and it is something that you cannot weigh with any money or any sort of other materialistic things.
You live only once, right?
It's the best thing you'll ever do, and you will thank yourself forever.
Really want to do it? You will do it.
Grab it, travel, have an amazing life. Just do it.
We all only live once.
Just do it.
To learn more about World Schooling, be sure to download our free World Schooling guide using the link in the description, and come and join our World Schooling community on Facebook. If you've got questions about World Schooling, ask them below. We'd love to answer them, and check out www.worldschoolingcentral.com.